So you're a supporter of BLM or no?
Yes.
All right. Can you elaborate, like, why you support it? I'm just asking people this.
I support BLM because, I think it's important that we highlight the minorities and how they've been oppressed and actually address the issues within that and
Mm-hmm.
how they continually are popping up within today's society. Whether it's intended or not, I
Mm.
mean, people might have biases that they don't even know about. So it's important to address those.
What do you think would be, I guess, the solution would to like the whole race problem? I would say. What do you think would be like
I
the
mean,
first
I
step?
don't think that
I
there's
guess.
just like
Oh yeah, I
one
know, but like,
solution, but I do think it's important to treat people how you would like to be treated. And I don't feel like we do that completely in today's society, whether it comes to a race thing or not.
yeah, that's true. I don't think people treat others the way they would treat themselves.
I mean, some do, some don't,
Yeah,
but
it depends on the person, obviously.
yeah. So, what about you? Why don't you support it completely?
Because like, I wouldn't say the movement itself is an effective movement to end the problems of race in America. I would say.
An ineffective? Is that
Yeah,
what you just said?
ineffective. I would say.
Well, then let me ask you this. What would be an effective way to end the problems? Because I can
Oh,
tell that
okay.
you think that there are them.
Yeah, sure. So I would say the idea of like, I guess everyone getting along in one, I guess, state with, I guess, different groups of people, races, wouldn't exactly work because one group of people would obviously want to promote their own interests above the other, which obviously would oppress one group. I don't think there would ever be a time where each group can just casually coexist, and this is why I was like more into like black nationalism and racial separatism, to be honest.
So, kind of like people who are African American go over there, people who are white go over here, Hispanics down here, you
Y-
know.
yeah, it's obviously not like Jim Crow laws, but
I mean, well, it obviously wouldn't be Jim Crow laws
yeah.
if you each had your own space that you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then again, are you from America? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
I'm in Texas.
But then again, you kind of look at America like it's a melting pot. America was a place for people to escape. Like it was a place for people to go to have new opportunities and to try living a new life and to try to get along with other people that are different from them.
Yeah, but obviously it started off as people more being similar, and over time becoming more and more diverse. And at one point, would you reach that limit of diversity? There has to be some form of limit, and I think we already kind of like surpassed that limit. Where how our country's
Um,
being more divided than ever before.
I do have to say that I appreciate this kind of conversation rather than people just insulting me. So thank you for that, number
All
one.
right.
But I think it's important to have diversity so you can learn about other cultures and you can actually experience different things that aren't within your own bubble and within your own, you know, learned things. Like I was raised by people who were very conservative, very internally racist, and I would not have the same
Based?
friends or the same worldview that I have today if I didn't challenge those thoughts or I didn't go to a more diverse space to learn about some of these
Mm.
things. So I feel like it can teach you a different perspective on how life is for other people, and especially within the issues that include, when people first came to America, they took a whole boatloads and boatloads and boatloads of slaves
Mm-hmm.
and treated them like absolute garbage. Treated them like as though they weren't people because they weren't. And I don't think that's fair to treat people that way. And you can't really like erase the history of that, nor can you erase the history of the genocide on Native American people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of an issue there if you say like kind of having racial segregation in a sense.
Not really. I mean, you can appreciate different cultures and not like be in the diverse area necessarily. I mean, we have the
Well,
internet now. It's not like we are totally isolated from the whole world.
but there's a lot of misinformation that's given out on the
Yeah,
internet
that's
sometimes.
true. But that
So
would be
it's
like the problem with like I guess social media.
fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's important to have those interpersonal experiences yourself as a human being.
It really depends because I know it's like ineffective for other people. Like I know people who became like less tolerant of different people just because they had like experiences with them that are not the best. You know.
That's me.
Yeah, but one experience with a person shouldn't determine how you look at that whole.
No, but it's not like one experience. It's like multiple experiences. To be honest, it's like you can say there could be conflict among different groups of people. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, yeah, that happens anywhere if you aren't capable of, treating people like decent human beings. And I mean, granted, it's also on the other person that was involved in this situation to treat another person with respect, whether you know that person or not. I think the bottom line is that human beings have lost a lot of values and morals that are important to have interpersonal relationships with each other.
Yeah, I feel like we're more disconnected.
It's a lot easier to be mean to somebody over a screen, therefore it ends up being easier to be mean to people in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I hope I helped you with something. I'm gonna go argue with people.
All right.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Like this